my name is Katrin and I talk about reducing waste by making instead of buying. And since September is second-hand September, I thought I would share a few tips on how to thrift safely during the pandemic. I know that with this pandemic, people have become more scared of shopping in general, but I think that second-hand shopping, since it's already something that not a lot of people still feel comfortable with, I thought I would share some tips to thrift safely during the COVID-19 pandemic. And honestly, if you are careful, I don't think that it's any different from buying from a regular store. To be honest, a lot of these tips that I'm sharing here apply to regular stores as well. So be safe. Let's go ahead with tip number 1. Wear a mask. Masks are meant to protect you and others from respiratory droplets, and not only it's a good way to protect others because you might have the virus but are asymptomatic, and it's a way to also prevent you from getting it from someone else. Although masks are not 100% effective on avoiding catching the virus, it lowers the odds a lot. So wear a mask. It's for everyone's safety, and that way you are ensuring public health. Second tip is to keep your social distance. We have been hearing these last few months about social distancing, and it's still the best proven way to avoid catching the virus. So even if you are in a rush, try to avoid contact with other people, try to keep your distance. If someone else is watching, is trying out something, or is going through one rack, go to the other rack and wait a little bit. There is no reason for us to be in a rush on our shopping trips, and at least this way we are preventing from catching the virus. Third tip is to disinfect your hands when arriving and leaving. This has a very good reason why. And basically, when you arrive, if for any reason you have virus in your hands, you can make sure that when you touch, for example, clothes in a second-hand clothing shop, you can avoid passing it on the surfaces and on other people. And when leaving, since you are wearing a mask and hopefully you are not touching your face, when leaving you disinfect your hands again, and even if for some reason you touch something that potentially has a little bit of the trace of the virus, you can make sure that at least your hands are disinfected, and that way if you touch your face with your hands, you know that they are clean. Fourth tip, limit your shopping trips. I know that you want to go all out and make the most out of everything that you lost during the quarantine, but it's obvious that it lowers the chances of you getting the virus. The less you go out, or the less you get exposed to other environments, the less likely you'll get virus. So limit your shopping trips. Go once a month, or I don't know, less than you are used to go. And I've done the same thing for supermarkets. I used to go every week, and now I try to go only once a month. And although the virus is better in Portugal than in other countries, I still feel like it's my responsibility to take care of everyone and help avoid spreading the virus if for some reason I get it and I'm asymptomatic. And that's basically it. Avoid going several times a week, or maybe limit for going once a month, I don't know. But for going to the supermarket, I've made it a little bit more fun by making pantry challenge, and if you have not seen those videos, I'll link them down below. And it's a way to avoid going out unnecessarily. And honestly, maybe for the supermarket you do a pantry challenge, but maybe to avoid buying new clothes, maybe try out new outfits from the clothes that you already have. Perhaps you have more clothes than you think you do. Next one is refrain to touch items that you don't know if you'll purchase. So basically, I know that this is very hard because I'm one of those people that in the supermarket I like to see the label, like to see if this makes sense, like to put in the cart and then put it back because I changed my mind. But it's a thing that we can all train. So basically, if you are not 100% set on the item, instead of just touching everything just for the sake of it, try to be more mindful and try to avoid doing that. I know that for clothes sometimes it's a little bit more difficult because we want to see how it fits and we want to remove it from the rack. Basically, what I want to say is that if you are not going to buy pants, don't touch any of those pants that are in the store. That's it. And it's something that I'm battling with because I don't even realize that I'm doing this, and it's certainly something that I'm trying to be more mindful of. Last but not least, wash everything that you buy once you arrive home. I already did this before COVID-19, but right now with all of these, I thought that I would mention, and you can quickly disinfect what you buy, or maybe if you bought clothes, you can just throw it in the wash with your regular clothes, and that is fine. There are a few studies that mention that the virus can live in stainless steel, for example, for 3 days. Although the jury is still out whether or not you can actually touch a surface and then catch the virus, I would rather not risk it, so I make sure that I either quarantine the items, just leave them out for 3 days in my home, especially if it's not clothes, because clothes are easy to throw in the wash, but other items, I think it's really quick to wipe down everything and go on with your life. Think about that. And these are my tips for you to thrift safely during the pandemic, but I didn't want to end this video without saying that if you are in a risk group or are afraid of leaving your house because you are afraid of infecting someone that you care about, don't go out. There are a lot of ways that you can buy secondhand if that's something that you really need. So you can go to Instagram stores and online stores. They have boomed because thrift stores had to reinvent themselves and try to buy in a different way. They try to sell in a different way, sorry. It's okay, you don't need to risk your health and your household's health just to buy stuff that you need. Just be safe, be 100% sure that you can, and don't create risks for you, your family, or your household. Just be safe. And that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know in the comment section down below if you already went to physical secondhand stores after this quarantine, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, one of those people.